Hey, Father John Muir here. Welcome to Catholic Breakfast. Today I want to talk to you about what Michael Jordan means for the city of Phoenix. What does Michael Jordan mean for the city of Phoenix? Well, to understand that, I think you have to understand the power of sports to create cohesion. And I'm going to tell you a little story about a memory I have of Michael Jordan back in 1996. The reason this is on my mind is because of this great 10-part documentary on Michael Jordan and the 1998 Chicago Bulls, The Last Dance on ESPN. Very worth watching. But it brought back to my mind the memory of what Michael Jordan meant for the city of Phoenix, where I grew up and where I live and where I'm a priest. So sports, what is it? It's this artificial theater in which we meditate on, in which we see in this, let's face it, strange way of human virtue, individual virtue, communal virtue. I mean, let's face it, like you're throwing a ball through a giant metal rim, right? It has really no purpose outside of itself, but it's this abstracted theater in which you watch these things which are very important to human beings unfold. What's more important than virtue, right? Like Aristotle said, if you want to be happy, do virtuous things with good friends. That's what it means to be happy. And that's hard to do in life. And so we like to see this lived out, the battle between good and evil, right? I mean, someone gets traded. It's not like they're a bad guy, but depending on what jersey they're wearing, they can look like a bad guy or not a bad guy. That's what I experienced in 1996. This experience, this communal experience of meditating on what sports represents, created this amazing cohesion in Phoenix. So if you're not from Phoenix or never been here, you know, Phoenix largely has people from other places. And in sports games, Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Suns, etc., people would almost always the majority of people would almost always root for the other teams. You'd go to a Cardinals game in like 1992, 93, 94. It's mostly Dallas Cowboys fans from other cities, the Packers, etc. It was true in other sports. Now, in 1996, it was like a David and Goliath moment. Michael Jordan is at the peak of his powers. He's back in the game after his baseball retirement, and the Phoenix Suns were taking him on. So it was the year that the Chicago Bulls set the record for the greatest regular season ever in the NBA up until that point. They went 72-10. I think they won 23 out of the first 25 games. Point is, they're really good. They're really powerful. And then the Suns go up against them. And I was at one game that year, and it was February 6, 1996. Jordan makes this incredible run in the fourth quarter, and you have the sense of, oh, we're not going to have what it takes. The Phoenix Suns rose to the occasion. Led by Charles Barkley, incredibly confident, played so unbelievably well in that game. There was one point where little Elliot Perry on the Phoenix Suns hits this big shot, and then Charles lifts him up on his shoulder and runs off the court with him. What happened in the city of Phoenix was, I think, in some ways, that game, I think, was a pivotal moment for us when we said, wait, we can do this. We can do this, Phoenix Suns. Fast forward to the end of that season. You drive around the city, and in car windows, in the windows of homes, people had Go Suns and wearing purple. Anyway, the point is cohesion. Meditating on our team, trying to be virtuous, trying to overcome this powerful enemy in Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls created this huge cohesion. I would argue to this day, the city of Phoenix, the citizens here, we have a sense of cohesion and identity as people who live here, more than we would have if it hadn't been for that season. Can we sometimes take sports too far? They become too important. They become like a religion or like kind of God to us, the most important thing in our lives. Sure, that would be too much or kind of disordered. We can forget this is a theater. It's an abstracted form of good versus evil. But when we acknowledge that, no, sports is this theater of virtue, this theater of good versus evil, and that's extremely important for us. It's an extremely important meditation on what it means to be happy, to do virtuous things with good friends. That's what makes human beings happy. That sports takes on this massive importance. It can actually produce good effects in people's lives: cohesion, togetherness, and an increased desire and hope to do great virtuous things, just like the Phoenix Suns did on February 6, 1996. So thanks, Michael Jordan. Thanks for watching, everybody.